and welcome to another exciting episode of THPPY. The name is Tumelos Milane Ntwana Yokokasi at the New Age Trendsetter, and I'll be your host for today's exciting and informative episode. Well, on today's episode, we shall be tackling a serious issue that has actually engulfed not only the world, but even our country in the kingdom of Eswatini. We shall be talking about gender-based violence. Now, GBV has been spreading out like wildfire, and so many cases have been heard or have arisen in the kingdom of Eswatini. We shall be engaging with young people as we are technology-based HIV prevention program for young people. Stay tuned. We will be engaging with young people on this sensitive matter. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still tuned in to THPPY Pulse, and I'm your host, Tumelos Milane Ntwana Yokokasi at the New Age Trendsetter. On the beginning of the show, we are talking about a serious matter, which is gender-based violence. Now, this has been an ongoing matter that has been spreading out in the country like wildfire. And sifuna nje kuva ukuthi ke ngabe sibamfila abasha are we well educated when it comes to gender-based violence. Ngivele nginabo ke students from the Limco Queen Eswatini University who are actually here to share with us what they understand or what they know about gender-based violence at large. Hello guys, and welcome to the show.
Hi.
Thank you so much for actually joining us on THPPY. And just deep on this matter, I'd like to give you this opportunity to actually introduce yourselves to the viewers at home.
My name is Sipo Setum Tadose.
My name is Nelisa Jamini. Hi viewers at home, this is Nelisa Namakagama, also known as Nomad.
Babule Makaya, this is Fiso Mzebele, known as Fiso Ntwana.
Fiso Ntwana. I like that. Okay guys, maybe just like getting on the topic, or on today's topic rather, we are talking gender-based violence. I'd like to find out from you guys, what do you guys understand about gender-based violence? What's your understanding?
Okay, for me, gender-based violence is the violence of the other, inflicted on the other gender by the other gender. Okay, guys, I feel like it's what you guys are doing to us males, are beating us up, are violating us in every way possible. Yes.
Or when you're saying guys, you're referring to the men.
Yes, guys. Yo.
Okay.
I think it's not just men to women, but also it can be women to men. It's just not as common as it is.
Yeah.
The way we see it on the news and on TV, but just either or gender inflicting or making one feel inferior in terms of their rights and
actually abusing their rights. Yeah.
Wow. I personally think gender-based violence, when you're talking about the violent part, I think the physical part have overshadowed the whole thing. Because when you say it's abusing of someone's rights, when someone is just abusing their rights against the other gender, that should be called gender-based violence. And that can go as far as emotional abuse, mental abuse, and all those stuff, rather than focusing on the physical part, because it doesn't start it is provoked by something then attended. So I think it's part of like showing you how far this thing has gone. So that's gender-based violence for me.
Okay, and the violence part, I feel like it's broad. When they're talking of violence, they are not actually going straight to the beating. They are talking about it's broad. Like as emotions, you emotionally do this to me, then I suddenly want to react to it. So yeah.
Okay. Nelly?
Right. I believe gender-based violence to be an injustice mostly against women and young children. Not to be biased to what you say.
Yes, that's according to you. Yeah. Would take a little wrong in any little but I'd also like us to maybe briefly engage about the forms of abuse that we are familiar with. Ngivile Fisontwana coming through with physical abuse. It's actually called physical abuse. Beating, yes, when naumtrapa nje lapha ekhaya, that's physical abuse. Nangikhumbule primary ya. Ngikhumbula le.
There's also emotional and verbal abuse.
Which contribute to GBV because like now child in sling, we don't know
Yeah, and then there's also financial abuse.
Financial abuse.
Yeah.
Don't spend money good have so said. Because favor when I stay and when I say cast.
Yeah.
Favor is something like so deep, bro. Because it puts you under emotional and mental pressure because you know if I cannot do the favor like that, she will tell you I'll go and ask it from someone else. And it makes you look like you are weak, you are a failure, you cannot provide.
True.
And now Lapo, you are draining. Most of them are men have become players, most of them are men have become drug abusers, not because they wanted to, but they're trying to cope to the situation put under. Like, la laba fake ka khona, le bona isiyafaka khona in favor ish. Mbashisa la.
Yeah, man, don't forget. Liyashisa indzaba ye-GBV. Yeah, don't forget, you guys at home, you can also engage with us and comment on the comment section, or you can also follow us on all our social media platforms. Emma links below on the screen. It is a THPPY. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is a THPPY. We are talking all things gender-based violence. Before the ad break, our guest in studio actually gave us a chance to actually define GBV according to their own understanding. Maybe moving on with today's topic, you guys, I want to find out from you. With all these cases that we've seen in the Kingdom of Eswatini recently, do you guys feel like GBV should be declared as a national emergency?
I think it should have been declared that long time ago.
Long time ago, eh?
100%. It's not something that started now. It's something that we've been made aware of now. I think just like mental health, it's something that has always been there, but people are speaking about it now.
Yeah.
So it's something that should have been an emergency long time ago.
Long time ago, yeah, that's true.
Well, personally, say it should. It not from the emergency at the beginning. But not being really controllable. Intellectual to see practice from home.
Yeah.
And I think it started when GBV basically perpetrated with the introduction of more empowerment. I'm not against women empowerment, but the boy child have been left back and behind. So the only way the boy child can still feel like I'm in power or I'm in control is through the violence. So I think this thing shouldn't be like an emergency, but it should be like in control, because emergency is whereby we are trying to control the monarch, but we should be like preventing it. Udawushaya abafati lo uzame ukucontrola kusesekuncane ungameke kuze kumshaya ekhaya uthi ngangitshela ngathi ngakukhula yabo. That kind of like it doesn't work. True.
Yeah. Okay, on that, it should have been an emergency long time ago. Personally, I felt like that. Not to actually crush your point like that, but then Umfana Ekaya has always been the one that was superior. They always give them that power. Like we in Lanifa, we've been nothing. Like and at times, like most of the times, they are very close to the father's knee. It's like so for us, we've always been violated in a way that even now. So that's why men feel like they should beat us up. Empowered, like in the sense. But then you guys are beating us up for that. Like we wanna be seen, we wanna be heard. We're human beings, so we want our rights to be heard. But then it's
not about the shadow. You want your rights as per se. That's a nasakula thing during our time.
Oh, your time.
Lapho bese bekuba neguma nelisango, you know.
Yeah.
Or a child will be utofundiswa on how to be a man and still respect women.
Yes.
And the girl child will be utofundiswa ukuthi how to be a woman and still respect a man.
I like
They
that.
are
I like that. Then that's what the
we
problem
are
is.
too
No.
much
No.
submissive to men. That's
No,
what we are doing.
wait.
You're too submissive.
Yes, we were
Wait.
supposed to be submissive
It's
to
not-
men.
it's not
like,
about-
yeah, Bobby.
No,
Oh,
it's
yes,
not about.
baby.
It's not about you being submissive to men. We
What
not
is it about?
what made Gutibele GPV kahle was the advocacy for gender equality instead of advocating for gender equity. Because equity
Which is
says
more important,
equity says when a tumelo because like you have power you kitchen.
Yes.
Meaning the power you go that ball. Use your power you kitchen and you mean sebese le yami that ball.
True.
But the gender equality iti when now it's a real that ball. Now I'm not kitchen. And if you say to me, this thing is not in me, but so I found out not kitchen. I will always like make the rest of Lamaranas prepare the sportsmanship. And prepare sportsmanship, someone has to use the violence to install like respect.
Yeah.
So if
And something that I also want to add is that, it's about GPV, it's actually focusing on both genders. So I see here in studio there's now a heated argument. The girls are blaming the boys and the boys are blaming the girls. But I'll make an example. If ever there's a case of GPV against women, understand that you find a certain lady has been physically abused. Ngicabanga ukuthi even emaphoyiseni when you go there, as much as mjida batambo ukuthi sokushaya, but they always try to find out from you as the female ukuthi what role did you play in making sure ukuthi naye physical abuse takes place, because there is always a role that you take place, that you guys take part in actually ukuthi, like njengoba forms of GPV ukuthi we have physical abuse, we have mental abuse, we have verbal abuse, we have financial abuse. Asisibe non-verbal abuse, you understand?
Yeah.
Women, no offense, but women are known to be very good with speaking, and men on the other hand have this ego, you understand? And most of the time women would not be mindful with what they say towards their partner, you understand?
Exactly.
And gender-based violence or like physical abuse, someone beating you up, it can also be caused by maybe, let's say, entwana yakokasi ikhulele ekhaya lapho khona make bekashaya baba, you understand? Mhlambe ahle aticana, you understand? And then it turns out ukuthi sekunema anger management issues type of thing, you understand? And then when you are out here provoking me with your verbal words, you're just throwing all these weapons at me like, yeah, when what.
like you said,
The next thing, exactly. What are you doing with the loser? That's the question, you understand? Because when you feel like this person is a loser, just mshie and go find yourself a winner. If when you are a winner, you understand? Because now we have so much narratives going on around. Like we have the female saying, "Hi, Machita, I super vele." I feel like everyone, when it comes to GPV, guys, even you viewers at home, let's all self-introspect ourselves. Look at how you are contributing towards GPV. Your neighbor being quiet when you are being abused. Before we go for the ad break, they are playing a part in making sure that GPV spreads. When they become quiet, when you fail to actually self-introspect yourself as a female, even though it's wrong, it doesn't give them the right to it's unshy. But if you fail to self-introspect yourself and look at yourself and say, what did I do actually to make this guy beat me up? You understand? You have to be accountable for that. Not as much that they're at home. We have to be accountable. Each time we make a mistake, let's be accountable. Let's own up. Both genders. Let both genders own up. Let's both men up. That's the word I would use. You're still tuned in to THPPY. We are talking all things gender-based violence. When we come back, we will be wrapping up the show. But before we wrap up the show, I have one more questions that I want to find out from my guests here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still tuned in to THPPY. And don't forget, you guys, THPPY is a technology-based HIV prevention program for young people. We are still here with my guest, and we are talking all things gender-based violence amongst young people in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Before we went for the ad break, we were looking at the fact that should GBV actually be declared as a national emergency. National emergency, maybe we are talking as a nation, as a young person, as an old person, as a female, as a male. What is it that you're doing to make sure that we fight GBV? Now, moving on, guys, I'd like to find out from you. Do you guys feel like the laws maybe that deal with normally protecting victims GBV, do you feel like they are strong, or they should be actually tightened more so that stop maybe less cases of GBV going forward into the future?
Personally, I feel like they should be tightened more. Instead of the 3 years or probably the 5 years, it should be like 15 years or more. Okay, the more what people say now, and they shouldn't be pardoned on good behavior. They should be let to stay there because never
Before we get into that, I like to be transparent enough with the viewers at home, with the stakeholders interested. I think before you pass a law that says this is the sentence, of which that's okay, we must use us, but I feel like the part less in everything, it's like bringing everyone into sensitizing everyone about this thing about GBV, because like we figure out telling me social anxiety, and it's the only thing that is punishable. It's the physical part, but then the verbal part, why you be punishable beyond? Like you are violating my rights as a human through my insults that you are throwing at me. Why gonna be punishable?
And
yes, the emotional part, because I think you are rushing on the loans like you're plaster instead of like treating the wound first. So let's treat the wound. Let's deal with everything. Like understand? As
villages,
some women will be like, I'm so very busy. I'm so many man. I kill this yeah. I find this cake. I think shy. Everyone is good now. But don't something shy. So we have to like see it's okay. Okay. I have to pay 15 years. But then no proper law. Like they should be punished as well, so that me as a man, I should avoid abusing women, and our women should avoid forcing men into physical combat. Yes, my teacher used to say. Physical combat. So I think that's what I think should happen.
What did you have in mind?
Nothing.
Oh really? Now it's like that. But you know, I feel like I like that Lolo Show would say as the other forms of abuse, because the common forms of HPV, it's sexual abuse and physical abuse. But the most common one is physical and sexual abuse. So I think in most cases, this thing is an ongoing cycle and it starts somewhere. So maybe it might start it might start from verbal abuse. What we say to each other, how we communicate with each other. I also feel like maybe before we even get to the part where we want to tighten the laws that actually protect victims or deal with people that actually abuse both genders out there. Maybe we should actually be looking at how can we come up with ways to actually educate not really young people, but just people in the Kingdom of Eswatini, from the young age to the elders, sifunziseke kabandi about such. Mostly even I'm one person for women empowerment, but I still feel like as a country in the Kingdom of Eswatini, we're still lacking on that, because before we went to the ad break, you could see big shadow but normal guys. Meaning what I'm saying is asizameni ukuthi let's empower our women. We need more programs that will actually empower our women and teach our women to be dependent on themselves. Understand? I feel as if kukhona la sishiya khona sisive semaswati. In terms of teaching our women ukuthi hayi wena nje ukhulela ukuthi udawushada sibanibani, you understand? That is wrong. We are here in tertiary. We need more women that will come through and be educated and learn to have their own wealth and learn to have their own homes, their own car keys. Because Cherry, ujabulisa ukuthi boyfriend yami nemoto. Say it. You understand?
On that part of saying empowerment,
Yes.
I will say it's okay to empower men, but also teach women on how to be accommodative of the other gender, because it's more like we're empowering women to yiba nendlu yakho, yiba nemoto yakho yabona, yiba nemali yakho, of which that's fine, but then how then naso nemali yakho? Do you respect the next person?
Yeah.
Because
That's also a
serious.
serious
That's all right. But the Romunyunga men then I think not useless because
Yes.
that's where the gap is. I think that kumbula jail verse because in Mufundis. Like work by Jesus, but it's a mufati lobega opinion, ne?
Yeah.
But figure bambega. What they did lapo, the society abamthathanga nendvodza lapha nayo. Bathatha lomfati lapha ingini. Bambeka la ngwa Jesus. And Jesus lapho wathi lo de sono akambulala. Jesus lapho beyangasho ukuthi lo de sono literally was telling them ukuthi nyathithini guys, we all are responsible for what these women have done. So everyone behind this thing before utolethe umbenkantolo ufike uthwente ukuthi look deep ukuthi wena wendele
Yes.
what's
Introspection.
what you play now
Yes,
because
yes.
you be crucifying people kanti ukhaza ukuthi now what you did is even worse yet kwadona ukuthi kubonakala kusokugcina iliso liso ya indicate but yona nokwakho ngimetheka kakhulu
It's
in such a way people avoid these mental cases maningi kakhulu and now ngathi inhlanga inkulu khona kakhona magic and you should ask yourself why bantu labanatha kakhulu bantu ababhema kakhulu magic etina kunjanizeni etingojeni kune magic you should ask yourself why igcwele magic there instead of ukuthi kube ne gender balance phela because everything is going according to gender balance.
You guys can't deal with stress. You can't.
No.
It's not even that. It's not even that, guys. Before we go for the ad break, as both genders, we really need platforms, more platforms in the kingdom of Eswatini that can actually educate us better, guys. You see, if you are saying men can't deal with stress, there's people responsible for dealing with your stress, like a psychologist. But if we don't have those kind of platforms provided in the kingdom of Eswatini, it makes it hard. You cannot deal with your own stress to a certain extent. You can deal with maybe stress about homeworks, but if you stress nasi, there's doubts about say you go for counseling. You
But
understand?
then your ego stop you from.
Exactly.
No.
Wait.
I always do that.
Wait, it's not ego. It's not ego. To be honest, it's not ego, but it's how. No, it's the energy I get from the other side. If I go, if I go, society isengafundiseke uthi nangafika umfathi yadeni from fact if athende kanjani they always say usehluleki indvodza kutwayo
We need
that's the stereotype.
Yes.
The stereotypes
I don't think it's like
Yes.
Sorry, I think what we are all in agreement with is the fact that before we solve the problem, we must look at what causes the problem and talk about it.
And talk about
then come together to
Yes,
solve.
and create those platforms, you understand? Because without those platforms, we are never going anywhere. We are never going to solve these GBV cases. Females are always going to point their hand at the males. And the males are also
point them.
But then we can deal with it though. Like we can
Who?
deal with it.
You also
the females can deal with it.
We can deal with it. You
No.
guys can deal with it.
No, it's not about
it.
Wow.
At times you yourself you tell yourself that addicting and nothing to the psychiatrist go to yes it needs to show me fun. But don't believe it no addictive when I'm considering
But that's what they do.
No, you tell yourself
We gotta go and take a break, you guys.
you tell yourself that.
Man, before we go for a break, I will just say to viewers at home, this is our community, this is our society.
Yes.
It takes all of us to create a better society.
Yes.
That's a necessity. It takes a community to raise a child. Yeah, it takes a household to raise the whole community, of which that's wrong. So as Sibambisane is Maswati. So Sibambisane, both females and males, stop pointing fingers. Just work together into a way forward.
Yes, sir. It takes the whole nation to actually end cases of gender-based violence. It is a THPPY. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're still tuned in to the coolest show in the kingdom. It is THPPY. Now, don't forget, THPPY is a technology-based HIV prevention program for the youth. Sikhuluma yona ke indzaba ye-gender-based violence. Sadly, you guys, we have to call it a wrap up on today's show. But before we wrap up, I just want to find out from you guys. Masikhuluma ukuthi GBV is or it is declared a national emergency. I just want to know from you guys maybe what are the roles that you guys are playing to make sure that GBV iyaphela ayinokuthi iyehla iyaphela sicedza ngayo sithi siwe because sithi nyalo indzaba yethu sonke. So I'd like to find out from you guys before I let you go, what roles are you guys playing?
I will say there's the advocacy role, whereby you're teaching men and women to live Danyigani, Babambisani, and to our brothers at home, each area I see objects. Because the thing is to figure some shit because we object or we project that you are doing, we say, I'm taking care of her, like then shorty and owning her. No one else owns anyone.
So entitled.
And for my chair or my ladies at home, guys, I was thinking don't give them that power. See, I'm where I am because of him. Like now, like that's the advocacy. I would say, I will be pushing. Would say, addicted. Stand for your own.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm in for a woman empowerment. But a woman should be independent.
Yes.
Like he said. But for never to provide and not leave on a man like that.
So in front time.
Front time and everything else. Just be that woman that provides for yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the quest of like providing for yourself, just make sure that we are gonna respect the other person in case you get into a relationship.
Respect yourselves as well.
Yeah.
That's another sweetness.
I know. You go.
I think my role would probably be to just spread awareness on the matter. I think we haven't had enough conversations as a nation on what's going on in our communities. And I think my role would be just to spread awareness on the fact that this is a problem and how to fix it.
Yeah, one time.
Right, you guys, I would say in my toxic relationships. Once you see it's getting verbal, like before even trying, just try to see usuge from there, because after that it's verbal. I mean, it's GBV and it gets worse.
Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Wait, let me echo to what you are saying.
Yes.
By echo, I mean let me support.
Yes.
Okay.
So to what brother is saying, would say let's engage, let's have more conversations, because the law of life is there are always two sides of the story, and then there's this third side, of which is the right side. So as much as I would say I was right, she was wrong, or she was right, I was wrong.
Yes.
But then let's look at right.
Let's face reality.
Let's face it reality.
Yes. I like that. As a young person there at home, now you have learned a lot from today's show. Don't forget, you guys, and also don't forget to actually go out there and get information and be well educated, even though you're not in tertiary or you're not in any form of formal education. Make sure you just research, guys. We have so much data and we're always on our phones. Let's start researching on the right information. You understand? Trends sometimes ayendeka, and trends they can influence us in so many different ways. Let's be careful of all those things, how we use social media, because the people influence you would see icherry yashayo. Once I say icherry yashayo, awayishadi boy. Nangabe yakuhlula kadze bayisho abantu labadzala. Mbuyisele ekhaya sibali. Another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Something like that.
And for females, if Akshaya Sisi, just always remember, Singisi sits, there's plenty of fish in the sea. You know what I'm saying? You know?
But it's a problem. It's a problem whereby she would be in a relationship with him. I'm shy. Abe nawe, shy.
Yes.
Abe nami shy.
Then
It's not about see.
It's not about.
It's about the fish. Now see, there are many fish.
No, second to
Yeah. So you know.
Second to
Social media has introduced abantu.
Yeah, guys, but all in all, let's just be mindful. Nangabe guys, akhlula Shan, please, mina vele I advocate ukuthi ngibuyisele ekhaya. Nema society cultures esikhathini esiningi, let's make sure that we break those society cultures. Indzaba yokuthi nje umjida akakhali, indzaba yokuthi nje umjida uthulile. No. Now nemajida sihlangene simajida. Asikhulumeni asingabhizi sikhuluma ukuthi yabona lo mshana lo yadoba. Khuluma ngana kulokhu landitiwe. Nakuloko kuhluphako because utolahlekelwa mhlambe lusito labo ngalitfola noma ngabe nje uhlangene nemjida nikuphi yabona nakathi lo mjida lo eshikune inkinga leso now as that guy listen to your guy friend or listen to leyo mjida support singahlekana simajida hawo kusengahedwa ngabasheklo yabona mfowethu all those society cultures, let's make sure that we break them, guys, and we try by all means to actually strive for better and healthy living at all times. Kumbule, guys, to always stay safe and condomize and know that HIV iyabulala. But though if you have it, it's not the end of the world. From me, Tumelos Milane. Before we wrap up, social media handles. Anyone so that people at home can follow you guys? Maybe they can slide in the DMs, you know what I'm saying?
No.
What's up with you guys not answering DMs though?
No, we answer DMs, but then
It depends what's it.
No, like
The content.
we answer DMs. I don't answer DMs because I don't use Instagram. DMs are only Instagram.
On Instagram.
Don't use this thing like DM ka Facebook. Like I couldn't. That's it. Yeah, I want your tens. This was the good my tens. No coding 8, good at 10. Turn your 8. Like the tens. It's the first
Plus
thing.
268. That
Yeah,
makes it
plus
smaller.
10. Basically 11 if you do it like that.
Says
So,
11.
I would say just guys follow Fisondoana's Facebook and TikTok.
Okay, so Magane, Facebook and TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, it's normal important.
Yes.
Nice one.
Nelisa Dlamini on Facebook and Swai Dlamini on Instagram.
Setum Jalose on all platforms excluding Facebook.
One time. All from us, the THPPY crew. You can check us out on all our social media handles. Make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel and you also like and share our content. You can also comment on our comment section. Until we meet again, stay safe.
Stop GBV.
Let's end it today.
Yeah.
Your psychological well-being, in your mind, like unjani, how are you thinking, how are you carrying yourself?
Beautiful.
I feel like it involves the social well-being of umuntu, especially as Bamfulabasha.
Ikakhulukati, eh? Bekakatsini advocate.
I will say mental health has to do with the balancing between